Hey guys, Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we have the champion guide on GROHAK the Bloodied. Rachel Davies, could you do an updated guide on GROHAK the Bloodied? Absolutely. Shout out to Wag Spoon, looking for dupe GROHAK the Bloodied. Is he awful? Let's go ahead and discuss in today's video. Damon looking for some GROHAK and Gamaran and Kellen as well. Damon, man, it's your lucky day, dude. It's your lucky day. Much love to Poland. Guys, let's go ahead and take a look at GROHAK the Bloodied. Alright guys, so GROHAK the Bloodied is a magic affinity orc. He's an old school legendary in the game. He's an attack-based champion, is damage based on attack. His HP leaves a lot to be desired in 15.6k. He has 1487 attack and 1000 defense, which isn't awful, but really pretty squishy when you combine his attack, his HP and his defense. His speed also is meh at 96, about average, maybe a little bit below average. His A1 Sapped Swiftness is a 2-time at random, each hit with a 50% chance to win both, placing the big version of decrease speed. Not a bad ability here in the A1. On the A2, Unbound Anger and AoE, each critical hit fills his champion turn meter by 20%. Again, not a bad skill here. They actually changed this cooldown as well. I'm going to take a look at the whole entire buff that he received around 2 years ago in just a moment here. But Lord of War, they also reduced this cooldown, if I remember correctly. Attacks one enemy, steals the entire target's turn meter, and then places the big version of Weaken for 2 turns if the attack is critical. This is on, again, a 4-turn cooldown. He has speed in dungeons by 24%, which is a really good speed aura for dungeons. Okay, let's take a look at the buff that they gave him. He used to be very bad, and I feel like some of the hate that he gets as being one of the worst legendaries in the game is perhaps undeserved, because I think it's probably based on him before the buff. That being said, though, you know, not to spoil the ending of today's video, he is still maybe a below average legendary. Let me rephrase that. He's a competent and capable legendary that you can use in quite a few areas of the game. However, his kit really does feel like an epic kit. Okay, in the best sense of the word. It's just very basic, and I don't know. I mean, it needs something else to justify that legendary rarity, in my opinion. But either way, he's not a trash champion. There's a lot of legendaries who are worse than him. His Unbound Anger used to be a 4-turn cooldown, right? Not booked down to 3. It used to just be 4. And the Lord of War, it was always a 5-turn book down to 4, but it used to, let's see, attack one enemy, steals the target's turn meter. Now, okay, so I guess they just added the Weaken to it, the big version of Weaken, okay? So there it is. Honestly, not a bad kit here. Not a bad kit. I mean, 100% turn meter steal, which is nice. Turn meter fill, which is nice. And decreased speed. So he's all about damage and control. Let's take a look at his multipliers here. So thanks to hellhades.com on this website, we have a 1.9 multiplier on the 2-time hitter on the A1. That's actually probably above average damage multiplier in terms of the attack plus the 2-time hit in consideration. A 3.7 on the AoE, that's about average for a legendary, you know, is nothing to write home about. And then on the big single target where we're stealing the turn meter and placing the Weaken, that's a 5.9, which is actually a really good multiplier. I would give this a godlike rating, certainly in the conversation, okay? Okay, he can deal a little bit of damage. He's got a little bit of control. Where are we going to use this guy? Well, again, going back to hellhades.com, he gives him a 4.5 in Fire Knight. That's a really good score, and I tend to agree. He's really good at Fire Knight normal, okay? Fire Knight hard, not so much. Fire Knight normal, yes. Spider, it's good because he has the complete turn meter steal, and then he has the AoE, where he's filling up his turn meter. He can go back into another Lord of War as well, right? Or just lay out some decreased speeds. He basically just keeps going and going because he's, again, filling turn meter on the A3 and also filling turn meter on the A2. So that's the nice thing about his kit. He's got like this inner motor built into his abilities. Spider hard mode 3.5. Other than that, we're really not using him, you know, anywhere dungeon-wise. I would argue you could use him in Ice Golem. I think he's probably better than a 2 on progression. Just for a control champion, you got to keep him alive, though. He's fairly squishy, as we mentioned. But Ice Golem, obviously, also susceptible to turn meter depletion on that A3. We're not really using him in Hydra, Doom Tower, Iron Twins, any of those areas. Shogun, which is a shame because of that juicy speed aura. It'd be cool if we could use him in some of those, newer dungeons in the game. But Iron Twin, Sand Devil, and Shogun, not really. Scarab King, Frost Spider, Eternal Dragon, and Dark Fae all see him get a 4 out of 5. That's really good. Overall, he gets a 3.5 rating or grading on hellhades.com. Where is that grading? Did they move it? They're updating their website right now, so everything's new and exciting to me, and the damage ratings are being updated as well. Anyway, I digress, guys. Let me show you how I built this dude, and let's go ahead and take him into battle afterwards. So, GROHAK the Bloodied, man. This guy, even with, me saying all the good things, the nice things about this dude, it's just not the guy that you want to be pulling from your legendary appears and it's GROHAK the Bloodied. He's just not one of the ones that you're going to get super excited about because, again, he doesn't feel very legendary to me. Even the Term Eater Steel, I mean, there's a lot of epics that have that. Heck, Maneater has that on his A2 on a 3-turn cooldown. Anyway, I put him in Double Perception. I think Triple Perception, Lifesteal for progression is fine on this champion in a similar way that we would do it with Shield Guard. If you put Lifesteal enough accuracy on him, he could even solo like Minotaur for you guys. Again, the same way that a Shield Guard would, who's an uncommon, by the way, that we're comparing him to, His A2 is actually the same, I want to say, as Shield Guard's. Actually, it's a 3-turn cooldown instead of 2-turn cooldown, so he's a little bit worse there. Anyway, I digress. You guys know I've said this in so many videos now. If I'm going to put broken sets on any champion, I'm starting to do this just to mention it in these videos, I would go with Protection and Stone Skin or, one of each. I'm getting 8% bonus HP and 20 resistance just by having like a random Stone Skin and Protection artifact that I wasn't using on this champion. So I have attack percentage on his chest. I have crit damage on his gauntlets. I have speed on his boots. I have accuracy on his banner. I have crit damage on his amulet, and I have HP on the ring. I think HP on the ring is the way to go for this champion because his base HP is so low, 15, almost 16k. Well, at least we can bump that up to 20 just with a 6-star HP ring, which is a lot better. So I like going HP on the ring on this champion, unless you're, certain that you can keep him alive. As I was saying, accuracy sets, perception sets, speed sets, lifesteal, I think are the way to go for this champion. You could go all out damage and throw him in some savage or lethal, but I would probably save that for a champion you're going to get more arena utility out of because I like him in Fire Knight. And, frankly, he can be pretty well served on an ally attack team as well. His A1 does hit pretty hard, and he's applying a decreased speed as well. I picked up Phantom Touch. I think that Phantom Touch is a good option for this champion in terms of blessings. Now, other options, of course, we could go with Cruelty. We could go with... he could be a Brimstone champion for you as well. Crushing Rend. Heck, even Intimidating Presence could be an option for this champion, depending on what you already have on your team. Let's go ahead and do the Masteries together here, guys. Actually, do I even need the crit rate? I don't think I do I? Stat priorities real quick on this guy. I do need it. Are going to be crit rate, accuracy, 1A, 1B, and then survivability, speed. Crit damage, right? Attack. It's weird. We kind of need everything with this guy, which kind of sucks, but you can see I've made a sacrifice here, a pretty significant one on the speed. Hopefully we can get that up to over 190 after we get our Lore of Steel. So let's do that in a bit. Anyway, crit rate. Crit damage. We'll come down single out. We'll come down, bring it down. We'll grab Methodical while we're at it. And I'm going to end with War Master here. You can go Helm Smasher on this champion as well if you want to. I'm going to go Life Drinker as well because, well, we want him to heal himself, right? It's really pretty intuitive, pretty obvious. We do not want him to be dying here, and he's fairly squishy. So on the support side of things, we're just going to go with more accuracy. The more the merrier, around 12 points per stage to be safe in dungeons. Let's go with, we can go with both Lore of Steel and Eagle Eye here. Let's go with Sniper. I think Sniper is pretty important for this guy to increase the chance on both hits on the A1 to a 55% chance on the decreased speed. And then we're going to pick up Master Hexer to extend that duration if we can get it to land as well. So goes to the Masteries, guys. Pretty basic and intuitive build for this champion. Let's see what we have him now. There it is, 190. We got it. We got it, guys. Lore of Steel, the magic. And we have the accuracy all the way up to 376 thanks to the Masteries. So, guys, let's go ahead and take him into battle. I alluded to a Fire Knight run. I actually have Faction Wars open right now for Orcs as well. I could show that, but I don't know. I mean, it's not exciting. I'd rather show a boss battle. Well, I guess that's the red boss too, right? Let's do Fire Knight first, and then we'll play things by ear. The reason we're going to do Fire Knight is we can use him in the lead too. We're going to do Fire Knight stage 25, where he's a positive affinity matchup. We have him with Morog on the team, Bronze Lock. She has an ally attack. She also brings the big version of Strength into the team. We have Tagore to keep everybody alive or revive them if we're not. And then we have 2 rares on the team. We have Cold Heart and we have Fleshmonger. I really love Fleshmonger. I have a guide out on him, guys. He's really cool. He's an AoE decreased defense champion, and he has a triple hitter on his A1. He also brings increased attack and increased crit rate on himself with an extra turn mechanic as well, which can help reduce the cooldown of his 4-turn decreased defense. So, guys, this team, as much as I love the squad, there's no Seer, there's no Poison Combust, there's nothing like that. It's actually going to take us a little while to get through these waves. So let's just watch a hit or two from GROHAK and then come back with the Fire Knight. So that was his A3 there, guys. Actually, you know what? Instead of running him in Faction Wars after this, let's just take him into the arena just for a quick damage check to see what he can do. Obviously, no Savage, no Lethal, no nothing in terms of ignore defense, but I do want to check out his A3. I haven't done that before, frankly. Checked out his A3 in the PvP environment. So I'm curious to see what kind of damage he's going to put out when all said and done here on this squad. Let's see one more. He goes in God of War again, and you can see he has full turn meter, right? So it's going to AI into the highest turn meter that's not a Force Affinity champion in most cases. There he goes with the A2, or is that the A1 or the A2? I didn't even see the name of it there. Let's see what he uses here. The cool thing is, if you had to slack on a stat on this dude, I think speed might be it. Because just like we did, right? Because reason being is he has so much turn meter fill built into his kit anyway that you can actually get by with him a bit slower, which is kind of cool. All right, he's going to do his AoE now. Nothing too crazy in terms of damage. I'll be right back when we get to the Fire Knight. All right, guys, here we are at the Fire Knight. Let me make myself a little bit smaller here so you can see the entire squad. All right, so the ally attack goes in there. We get that shield down, and this is where GROHAK can really shine. He lands that decreased speed on his A1. It's pretty dependable, 55% chance with the sniper ×2 shot at landing it there. So the decreased speed is obviously going to be instrumental. He goes in there, and he gets a resist. Oh, man. Getting a resist with 400 accuracy or so when you include the Masteries and having a strong affinity matchup is not something that I was prepared for at all. That's interesting. All right, hopefully that was a anomaly and not what we can expect, right? Either way, we're going to be fine. Now, if we had stolen that turn meter, everything would have been smoothly, and I don't think the Fire Knight would have ever gotten another turn. Let's see. That's his A1 going again. He doesn't die, at least. That HP ring coming in handy, although he probably would have stayed alive either way, right? Let's see here. Get this shield down. Ally attack again. He's going to come in there and, all right, get it. There we go. Of course, we decrease turn meter when he has none, or steal turn meter when he has none to steal. But overall, I think a 3.5 is pretty fair for this guy out of 5. Maybe a 3 out of 5, frankly, you know. I think I'd probably go 3. Who am I kidding, right? He does put out 1.6 million damage, so he was the damage dealer lead on this squad. But again, the squad is not, I mean, I don't have exactly Terrasses and whatever, you know, Seers on this team. He's competing against, you know, a couple rares and an Epic who's, you know, kind of an ally attack, a hybrid damage dealer, not an all-out damage. So yeah, he does have the most damage, but you always have to look at the team that they're on as well. That being said, not an awful showing, and he certainly added more utility than just the damage. Let's go ahead and do a quick damage check on this guy. I don't feel like going against UDK. Let's go against this team instead, and let's put him on a speed team. Let's take Trunda out and make him our main nuker. We'll see how we do here. I want to chest out his A2 and his A3. All right. Turn meter fill, CC enemy team. Debuff enemy team. Let's try his A2 first, his AoE. Not bad I mean, first of all, very squishy team, but not bad considering, let's go against like a Taras team now, right? Not bad considering he does not have the ignore defense abilities in his kit. Of course, Taras with his stupid fear. You know he's gonna, because he's the star of the show. This is his big moment. You know the fear's gonna proc. All right, what I want to do here, instead of waking everybody up, let's see if we can go in there and steal. I would love to steal it from Sify, but she's gonna resist, right? With 390 accurate. Let's just try. Of course. Of course. Fear procs, we're dead. Thanks, Taras. Game over, goodbye. All right, let's try a non-Taras team. How about that? All right, let's try... Yeah, let's try this one. Let's try this one. All right. Stoneskin, Cupidus? Nope. Wow. Cupidus, if you can... Obviously, not everybody has the luxury of doing this because, okay, this is another sucky one because I'm not going to be able to steal... I'm not going to be able to steal Turn Meter, obviously, from Mithrala. The reason he's kind of crap, that was a big hit, though. That A3 definitely hits hard, that's for sure. What I was trying to say earlier is definitely want to go with Stoneskin on Cupidus if you're going to do a Cupidus Venus team, if you can. Because obviously this guy's probably trying to use Cupidus and like Hydra as well, and it can be tough to build every champion specifically for exactly where you want them to. But now we should be able to steal the complete Turn Meter of Venus and Killer. So look at that. We're almost ready to go again, which is pretty cool. So I have to say, I like the A3, and then he can come in A2, kill Cupidus. Not awful. I mean, definitely not a, Platinum Arena specialist, but he can hit hard. I can only imagine you put him, especially in progression, like farming your Great Hall, you put him in Savage or Lethal, pick up Helm Smasher, and he can be a competent nuker who has that, like, go again potential in his kit. So not as bad as people say he is my final conclusion and grading on GROHAK the Bloodied, guys. What do you think of this champion? Let me know in the comments below, and keep the guide requests coming in the comments, guys. Much love, and as always, take care, guys.